February 17, 1936, a day that would forever mark the birth of one of the most iconic masked vigilantes in comic book history. On this day, Falk introduced the world to the Phantom, a character who would go on to shape the superhero genre long before the Superman and Batman donned their legendary capes. Known as the Ghost Who Walks, the Phantom carved out a legacy that blended mystery, action, and a deep sense of justice. But what made the Phantom such a compelling and a long-lasting character? Why does he still command a global following nearly 9 decades later? Let's take a journey through time and unravel the story of the world's first costume superhero. Big ideas, bold moves. That's what Big Moves is all about. If you love stories of world-changing breakthroughs and bold inventions, you're in the right place. Subscribe for more big stories, hit like and share if you like the video. Stick around as we uncover stories that inspire, amaze, and push boundaries like never before. Let's explore what we have in this groundbreaking story. When people think of superheroes, the likes of Superman, Batman, and Spider-Man often come to mind. But just think that a masked crime fighter in a skin-tight suit was already leaping off newspaper pages before these legends even existed. Falk's The Phantom made his debut in newspapers on February 17, 1936, predating Superman 1938 and Batman 1939. While other pulp heroes like Zorro and the Shadow had been popular, the Phantom was the first hero to wear a skin-tight costume, setting the stage for the superhero aesthetics we see today. His purple suit, domino mask, and no-nonsense attitude became a blueprint for comic book vigilantes. But what really set the Phantom apart wasn't just his appearance, it was his legacy and mythos. Unlike most superheroes who gain their powers through accidents or alien origins, the Phantom is unique because he is not a single individual, but rather a mantle passed down through generations. The legend tells of a young English sailor whose father was killed by pirates in the 16th century. Swearing on oath on the skull of his father's murderer, he vowed to fight injustice and piracy for all the time. His war created the illusion that the Phantom is an immortal ghost who never dies, striking fear into the hearts of criminals. In reality, the Phantom is a lineage of crime fighters, with each new generation taking on the mantle of their predecessor. This brilliant storytelling choice allowed the character to evolve over decades without losing its mystique. Though not as widely recognized today as Marvel or DC heroes, the Phantom was a pioneering force in shaping the superhero genre. Some of his most notable influences include the first costume superhero. The Phantom introduced the idea of a masked, skin-tight suit vigilante years before Batman and Superman. The secret identity trope. Unlike earlier pulp heroes who didn't always have alter egos, the Phantom led a double life. The Phantom's skull mark. His unique calling card, a skull-shaped ring that left an imprint on villains, paved the way for symbolic superhero branding. Even modern comic book titans acknowledge the Phantom's legacy. Creators like Bob Kane and Stan Lee have cited him as a direct influence on their own iconic heroes. While the Phantom might not be a household name in the United States today, his popularity never faded internationally. Countries like India, Australia, Sweden, and Brazil still celebrate the Ghost Who Walks as a cultural icon. In India, he is known as the Vaital in Hindi and Arinidip in Bengali. The Phantom was published in Indrajil Comics and became a beloved figure among comic readers in India. In Sweden, he is known as the Phantomen and continues to have an active comic book series. In Australia, the Phantom enjoys a cult following with dedicated fans who cherish his adventures. Even today, the Phantom appears in movies, TV shows, video games, and reprints, keeping his legend alive. Superhero media today is bigger than ever, but the Phantom remains unique because he represents something beyond superpowers and flashy fights. He is a symbol of justice passed on through generations, proving that heroism is not about abilities but about character and duty. His stories emphasize family, legacy, and unwavering commitment, themes that resonate across cultures and eras. In an era dominated by superheroes with godlike abilities, the Phantom remains grounded, relying on wit, strength, and a deep understanding of justice. As we celebrate February 17, we honor the first costume superhero, a character who, despite the passing decades, remains as legendary as ever.